Hyvää perjantai-huomenta kaikille ja tervetuloa totuttuun tapaan seuraamaan Urbaanit visionäärit live-lähetystä täältä Urban 3-studiosta Maria 01. Tänään Ecotektin perustaja Abhishek Kumar meillä vieraana, kohta vaihdetaan englantiin, mutta ennen kuin me päästetään Abhishek kertomaan Ecotektista, niin kerrotaan teidän kanssa, että mitä on aktiivista tällä hetkellä KIRAhubin pöydällä, jossa te voitte olla mukana. Nyt ilo-uutisia. KIRAhub rekrytoi 4 jäsentä tiimiin, monipuolista osaajaa tässä positiossa, joka siis on jatkuva työsuhde, pääsee varmasti kehittämään omaa osaamistaan osana ekosysteemitiimiä, jonka tarkoituksena on uudistaa kiinteistö- ja rakentamisalaa. Tämä rekryilmoitus löytyy kokonaisuudessaan meidän sivuilta. Kannattaa käydä siellä katsomassa ja laittaa heti, miten hakemusta tulemaan Teemulle, koska tämä paikka täytetään heti, kun sopiva kandidaatti löytyy. Sitten kansainvälistyminen kiinnostaa. KIRAhub on monesti käynyt Singaporessa tutustumassa paikallisiin mahdollisuuksiin rakennetun ympäristön digiratkaisuille, ja näitä mahdollisuuksia promotaan myös 13. päivä. Tätä kuuta kannattaa tulla puolen tunnin webinaariin kuulolle. Siellä saatte kuulla uusimmista tuulista, mitä Singaporessa haetaan ja minkälaisia mahdollisuuksia KIRA-alan suomalaisille yrityksille siellä on tarjolla. Ja sitten, kuten tiedätte, KIRA-ilmasto-ohjelma, vähähiilisen rakennetun ympäristön ohjelma, on vielä käynnissä. Siellä moni hanke ei ole valmistunut, moni hanke valmistuu tänä vuonna, ja näitä valmistuneita hankkeita ja niiden tuloksia esitellään meidän tulostilaisuuksissa. Tämän vuoden ensimmäinen tulostilaisuus järjestetään 4.3. Siirrytään taas tänne meidän Urban 3:een. Voitte tulla paikan päälle tai katsoa striimin. Tällä kertaa aiheena vähähiiliset asumisen ratkaisut. Ja tosiaan kaikkiin näihin tapahtumiin löytyy meidän sivuilta linkit, eli kannattaa kirahub.org-sivuilla käydä ilmoittautumassa. Mutta sitten päivän aiheeseen. Welcome, Abhishek. You're the CEO and founder of Ecotect,
Yes.
and you will shortly introduce yourself and what you do in Ecotect, and after that we will discuss a bit more about your journey to startup entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, it's good to be here. Yeah. So, as you know, I'm Abhishek Kumar, founder and CEO of Ecotect. And what we do in Ecotect is that we are using digital construction for sustainable, using the sustainable technology. So, how we do it here is that we have this idea of a global design and a local construction, which means that we have a marketplace where the designers or the architects, they can upload their designs. And then these designs, they are directly go to our printer. And then we print the elements, and then these elements are taken onto the sites, and we assemble them together to build the buildings or the houses and so on. And the advantage of our element is that we are not just reducing the CO2 emission, but actually it's more carbon negative, And the reason is that we reduce up to 60%, 40 to 60% of the concrete and steel requirements through the material efficiency. So we only use materials where we need it. And then it is backed by the hempcrete, which is a bio-based material, which works as an insulation, also the permanent molds and so on. So compared to wood or concrete, we are carbon negative. If we compare with the wood, generally it takes 25 to 40 years to grow. And not everywhere we have the forest, right? Yes, in Finland we are lucky that we have so much of wood, but it's very expensive in globally. So this is why, and compared to hemp, which takes only 4 to 6 months to grow, it needs very less water. The farmers, they can use it to regenerate their soil, especially the nitrogen inside. So it has many benefits. Last year we got our patent in Finland. Now our patent in EU and USA is pending. And this is for this we got the patent, is that the process of how we manufacture these elements. As I told you, that we generate the shapes and form using the computers, right, with the softwares. And with these shapes and forms are very complex. So this is why we use a printer. And instead of using concrete or any other material, we use clay. The white clay, because it's easily available, it's in abundance, easy to clean, it's familiar, and so on. So we make these shapes, and then we put the hempcrete on top of it. Once the hempcrete is hard, we remove the clay, and then we have these permanent molds. In these molds, we put the concrete and steel. So our process is very simple to implement. Yeah, this is how our solution works.
Okay, great. And you are also part of KIRAr ecosystem and part of PropTech Finland, and you are really active in the startup ecosystem, I would say.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we have to. It's great to have all these opportunities. I would say for the startup because I know like 10 years back there was nothing like this. So it's really good that there are organizations like KIRAr or PropTech Finland are supporting sustainable constructions. And yeah, we are getting a lot of help here. So why not?
And you are quite young startup company, and last year was amazing year for you. Like you said, you got your patent in Finland, but of course you were all over the place. I would say you won so many prizes. So, but my first actual question usually is that how did you end up in your current position? So, what is your background? What did you study, and how did you end up doing business in Finland?
Yeah, so I'm an architect, and I was lucky to work with the world's best architects, especially the Pritzker Prize winner, B.V. Doshi or Sorun Rewal. And so, this and these architects are known for their sustainable construction. So, for example, Doshi was talking about sustainability in 1956, first time the article was published. So it's really long, right? And so that's like, encouraged me, and I really like and I understand the sustainability part. But then what happened is, I went to study to Stockholm to my master's there. There I did this robotics in architecture, and basically the digital fabrication part I learned about that. And and I was also working in London. I was in Denmark, Estonia, but yes, through a friend, I got introduced in there's an event called Arctic 15. Then I met the Halto startup. There was a booth, and I spoke with them, and they were quite open about the possibilities and support. So I decided to, with my partner who finished, I decided to come to Finland. Yeah.
We are really pleased that we got to
Thank you.
have you here and that you started your business in Finland. But where did you get the idea for Ecotect?
Okay. So as you know, my background is, of course, with the digital fabrication in architecture, and I saw many companies are. I would say that yes, the technology has evolved over the years, but still there is a big. Still, we have to see the huge impact of digital fabrication on construction. So even though I had all these expertise, it was kind of an impossible to implement it on construction side because the construction is still done manually and so on. So, and then when we looked into it, we were doing a project with Government of India for low cost housing. There we decided that okay, it's not just if you want to reduce the cost and make things more sustainable. I think the digital fabrication or this robotic system is to go. So yeah, and it's not just a housing problem in India, but we know in Europe it's a huge problem. Young population can't afford the housing; the prices are high, and it's a global challenge. And as we also know that many people are moving to cities, it creates even more imbalance, the supply and demand. So yeah, so this is how we came that okay, we know how we could develop the idea and solve the problem.
Do you miss the architecture part? Because now you are founder of tech startup.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Architects are always. If we see, for example, Corbusier or Frank Lloyd Wright or Louis Kahn, these architects, they have their work in my city, and there we see they are always bringing something new, the technology, new materials, new way of construction. So I would say that the technology development part. I would say the construction technology part is very much embedded in practice of architecture. So I would say that yes, we are more focused on the technology, but yeah, this is how it's very much part of architecture, I would say.
And you provide the platform and also the technology, but how about the design part? Where do you find all the designers or the architects?
Oh yeah, this is a really good question. There are so many good designers, I would say, especially the young designers who are who are more exposed to the softwares and new digital fabrication technologies, because now more the universities are having these courses. And so I would say that there's huge talent which is not utilized. Unfortunately, the architecture is not so democratized. So if you want to do a practice globally as an architect, you must know the right person, political connections, background, all these impacts. But then this is why this platform is actually to give an opportunity for someone who is just out of the school, but they can be much more creative and have more impact through their designs compared to, let's say, most established architects. So when I meet them and I see their work, I'm just like, wow, it's so this there's a lot of talent, I would say, around us.
How do you choose the designs, or can like anyone from everywhere publish something to your platform?
So it's a very new platform now, and we are just starting it out. Of course, the idea is that first we look at the designs. So it's more like a stock photography that to just get in, you have to show some of your work to us. And then once we say, okay, it's fine, then the platform is quite kind of an open, so they can keep on uploading it. And also from the customer side, it's they choose the design. So through this platform, it is an opportunity for architects or to showcase their work globally, but then it's up to the customers to select the designs. We don't, and so all the copyrights or all the design decisions are kept. The ownership is with the architects, and the decision making to buy it or use those design is with the customers. So
So talking about the customers, who actually are your customers? So individuals from all over the world who want to build their own houses?
Yeah, that's the main plan here, is that anyone who wants to build their houses globally, they could go to our platform and then select the designs. Now we have very limited designs, but it's going to come more in next couple of years. But for now, we are also working with very eminent architects who are more focused on sustainable architecture, and they are doing cutting edge. They are always doing something new and using cutting edge technologies in their work. So they are our main, I would say, award-winning architects are our first customers.
For some, 3D printing is really good, really new thing, and for me too. So how do you see like this kind of technology working in the future? What is your vision, and what can you do at the moment, and what is still like lacking? What will you be doing in the future?
Okay, so it's we tried 3D printing with many materials, including concrete and so on. And we decided that to go with clay because it's easy to work with. I would say that 3D concrete printing is challenging, and there are much better ways or efficient ways to make the similar or same elements without using 3D printing. But it depends, because 3D printing is also huge. There are many different ways, like materials or robotic construction or on-site 3D printing and so on. It's good to see many companies are trying different things at the same time. But it has been challenging. I would say it's kind of concrete 3D printing layer by layer is failed system because it's been there since 1 decade. Nobody, we also did our own survey. Construction companies are not interested, and it doesn't bring, because it's very complicated to control the materials. To teach the construction workers or the operators to use the robotics or use the machines. For example, a bricklayer is much faster. We calculated it at 3-meter high wall by 4-meter long. A bricklayer can do it in a day easily. So today it's quite new, but it's good that many companies are trying it, and it's good for the innovation, right?
Yeah. So what is the vision for your company and for the industry? How do you want to change the industry eventually?
Yeah, this is where we think that the system which we have developed is much easy to adapt for the industry. So the main complaint from the industry is that the systems are too complicated, especially with 3D printing. And our learning is that it should be very simple to use. And we are with our technology, we are not just using the reducing the CO2 emission, as I said. We are also having carbon negative, and using the biomaterial. I mean, it's also having a social impact because the farmers are now first time are into the main supply chain system compared to, let's say, sand mining or so producing more cement and concrete. Still, the concrete and cement, I would say, is the best material, the most cheapest, versatile. It's globally available. It's proven material. So I don't see, yes, there are new kind of cements which is coming up, but I would say that the concrete and steel are going to stay. What we are doing here is that we are minimizing the usage and replacing the concrete and steel with the bio-based material, especially the hempcrete. So this is how we are planning to change completely from, dependent on the sand and heavy, or let's say 50% of the materials in EU goes into the construction.
So how do you do the testing with new materials, for example, hemp? So where do you do that and how do you do that?
Yeah, so the hemp is, we buy it from Saint-Gobain now. We are also buying it, the material from one, Latvian company. But so the hempcrete is tested. It's been proven, and we are just using it in a different way. So we are not developing a new material here. Yes, we have to make some small changes to suit our let's say workflow. But overall, the materials are being tested. It is there. It's just that now the hempcrete or the bio-based material requires a lot of labor, so it's expensive. And we are solving this problem through the automation. So yeah.
So you are driving change, and it's not just technical changes, but it's also change of mindset. And our industry is not the most forerunnerish when you look at the mindset point of view. So how do you see that, and how would you like to change it?
Wow, I mean, it's a different experience for me. Yes, you are right that people are complaining about the mindset, but when they hear about our product, which we say that it's because architects knows about hempcrete and so on, and they immediately they say, okay, they understand. I would say that they're more excited, and this is why you see the result from the last year. We won many awards, and now the good thing about these awards were like they were given by the construction industry, or the jury members were CEOs of the construction and so on. So, and these were all targeted especially the construction company. So there we are getting actually overwhelming response. We are having a very small team, and we are struggling to keep up to reply to the emails and getting that, closing the deal, because there are so many questions and responses is huge. So I would say that if you give a right product, the industry needs it. But if the product is not matching to their requirement, of course they will say no. And this is what I think was happening for so long, that the product which was proposed to the customer, I would say, which is a construction industry, the customer never wanted those products. So then they said, okay, we don't want to use it. And then the perception was created that the construction industry is not, or the mindset is quite close. So I'm challenging the whole belief here, or trying to change that. Okay, and sometimes we need to educate them because it's quite new. So we put a lot of effort in explaining what we do. We show them the drawings, we show them the test results, and I think that the future is really good. If you do a right product and which customer needs it, this is the best opportunity, I would say, the construction industry.
Do you think that customers are ready for this kind of solutions? So are they relying on your platform or your way of doing things?
Yeah, so the customers basically rely on the experts, basically here the architects and the structural engineers. That's where we have to. So the architect should say yes, and the structural engineer must say yes, and then they go to the building permit, and they are the one who are defending or who are kind of changing. So I think that yes, the customer may not believe what we say. Let's say the end customer, who are the home buyers, or sometimes it's the construction companies, but they rely on the experts. or their consultants. So this is how we are trying. We are going through the consultants who are having experience of, let's say, 50 years or 80 years of in the industry. When we present our idea, then they are the one who say, yes, we want to take it forward. So this is our approach.
Yeah, it's good that you have lots of visions. Let's talk a little bit about the startup entrepreneurship itself as well.
Yeah.
So you are based in Finland, but your vision is international. So what kind of challenges and opportunities have you faced, like now that you are based in Finland?
Okay. So first, I would like to say the challenges. Yes, the digital fabrication part is not so developed here in construction. More focused is, of course, the Finnish architecture is known for its own unique style, and also especially the wood architecture, wood material. But I would say that it's quite new for many construction companies and offices to use digital fabrication compared to, let's say, Denmark or Switzerland or Germany. So, but that I think we are going to use it as our opportunity, that we are the one who are introducing this new, very few are there, but so we are the one who are introducing this new 3D printing and robotics to the Finnish customer. Because we are very young, I would say, and most of the calls which we got are from the Spain, Portugal, and Denmark. And as of now, we know that our partner, one partner is co-founder is from Denmark. And the idea is that now the Danish market is doing quite well. The construction sector is booming now, and this is why we are more focused on the other markets, especially Denmark and Southern Europe. But yes, we would love to start here in Finland and get going. So it's been a very limited, I would say, interaction with the Finnish customers as of now. But yes, we are trying. I mean, our plan is that in a couple of months we are again going to start. The opportunities are, I would say that yes, the funding from Business Finland or the government funding has been amazing. Also the ecosystem. So we got support from Arto Startup Center. Urban Tech Helsinki, we are incubated there. KIRAr Hub, PropTech Finland. So there's a lot of advices and expertise in the startup ecosystem that we could learn and we could adapt and test. So this has been, I would say, the most valuable part. And also we don't feel alone. I mean, it's quite easy to feel alone, but when you have this kind of organizations or the people backing, supporting, that makes a huge difference, I would say.
Is there something that you would like to change about the system? So how the system works for the startups, and how about the VC funding?
VC is, everyone is disappointed in Finland with the VC funding. I mean, if you compare with Estonia, for example, number of unicorns, or you see the neighboring country, I don't want to call one of the neighbor country, but let's say the Sweden, or the valuation is much higher, and also Stockholm is a startup capital and so on. So I would say that the approach in this is not just me, but the data speaks for itself. That the amount of funding per capita per startup, especially in the cutting edge new technology, is being really very low, and it could improve. But this is what everyone knows about it, right? The VCs, they are quite aware. And the problem here is that this is what we feel, that the VCs are looking for the businesses like regular businesses. They are, even though in their website they say that they are supporting cutting edge technologies, and so when I see their portfolio company, they are just So it could be, and they made a really bad decisions earlier, and they are losing a lot of money also. So it's it's a good learning for VCs to change the mindset, but it will come, I'm sure, because once they lose all the money, they can't continue longer, right? So I would say that compared to Central Europe or let's say even Nordic or Baltic countries, Finland has much more potential. The innovation level is much higher. The startup founders are much more driven, I would say. It's just that they need capital.
Yeah. So I already said that your last year was quite successful. So what are you going to concentrate on this year? So what are the big goals?
Yeah, we are now setting up our production facility in Denmark, and that's what the main focus is to start. So we have this lot of interest from these architects and the construction companies. Now we are in a stage where we are going to showcase or sell. Basically, what they need now is that our production capacity before they give us any order, right? So we are kind of we made some temporary agreements with them. And at the stage now it's that we set up this production facility and invite them again, and then supply, take the orders and supply the panels, 3D printed panels for now. That's the main focus.
Okay. And how about after, let's say, 5 years? What should have happened? So how is your business going to look in 5 years?
I see, that it's been 8,000 years or 10,000 years or 15,000 years for human history, right? And we may have 15 different ways of doing construction. So one is wood, one is concrete, one is bricks, one is stone. You may have some hollow core concretes or T-beam. And so let's say not more than 15 ways of construction. The Ecotect is going to be one of them. So I think that in 5 years, you will see our solution in each and every warehouses or each and every construction material shop. You will see our solution, and that's what we want to do it in 5 years, and it's doable. Believe me, it's doable.
Yeah, I believe in that too, and I'm really pleased about that goals. Well, what kind of advice do you want to give to other startup entrepreneurs? Is there something that you would like to encourage, like Finnish startup entrepreneurs, for example?
I mean, just don't lose hope because you may hear a lot of no's from VC. VC sometimes they don't get it. So, and the world is much better place. I would say that you will get a lot of support. I mean, you will be surprised that how many people are here to help you. So if you have any ideas or anything you want to do it, don't wait it for a week or a month or a year. Just do it today or just start now, and you will be surprised that you will the responses from the people. You will get your own group, and how it's amazing to be here.
Yeah. That's a good advice. So just do it.
Just start now.
That's good. Yes. As the last question, I would like to ask from you that what would be your dream come true project? Where would you jump into immediately?
Well, this is I haven't thought about it immediately because I'm always thinking about Ecotect. Well, I would like to become, I don't know, maybe the president of USA or China or India, and just make the sustainable construction compulsory. No option there. So that would, if I have that opportunity I would immediately do it. Yeah.
That's a big and good dream.
Yes.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you so much for coming as a guest, and thank you for being so active member of the ecosystem.
Thank you.
Ja kiitos katsojille, kiitos, että seurasitte tätäkin keskustelua. Jos startup-yrittäminen kiinnostaa ja erityisesti ekosysteemitoiminta sen ympärillä, niin kannattaa olla meihin yhteydessä, koska esimerkiksi PropTech Finland on hyvin perheenomainen ekosysteemi, jossa pääsee vuorovaikuttamaan muiden samanhenkisten ja samojen ongelmien kanssa painivien ihmisten kanssa. Kiitos teille siis seuraamisesta. Käykää hakemassa KIRA-hubin duuniin ja ihanaa viikonloppua kaikille. Me nähdään ensi perjantaina. Moikka!